And if that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. Coffee, probably. But we don't have any of that right now for you, especially those of you online. You're going to have to fend for yourself. My name is Eric Troop, and I'm subbing in for Mr. Dave Finch. He is out doing, I don't know, something. So we're just, no, he's off. He's got a gig. So we are soldiering on. And so we are going to do some songs together. As he often says, we don't sing from our seats, we sing from our feet. Yeah. So, as is often the best way to start one's day, let's start our day with love.
Okay.
The song starts off, I start my day with love. And when I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love.
I start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love.
I start my day with love.
I start my day with love.
That's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. My day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. I start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Start my day with love. I start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
church.
Ooh, this is such a great morning. So, alrighty then. You know, Kevin, most people prefer microphones always be off when I'm talking. So good morning, everybody. I have my sunglasses on because we finally got some good sunshine out there. It's been so glorious, but I have a true confession. I have found so out of shape I am. All right, I'm out there picking up the pine cones, getting the pine needle, getting all the furniture out and everything else. I probably have 50 little itty bitty slivers in my hands. You know how annoying those things are, and you find them no matter what? All right, so I'm done belly aching. Let's talk about us. I think it is so cool that we are the Wild Soul Sanctuary. So today, I asked my friend Chris, who is always back there, always quiet, always giving to everybody, to share his thoughts on what a Wild Soul Sanctuary is for Chris. We got technology all around you, Chris. We can fix it.
Okay. Hello. Okay, there we go. We have life. Yeah, I'm the guy in the catbird seat, usually sitting back here blowing raspberries at the speakers when they come up. But I see and hear a lot, and I get my own thoughts going, and kind of drift off and forget what I'm supposed to be doing up here. But whenever I hear people talking about the Wild Soul Sanctuary, I remember an old definition for what Zen is. Basically, if you can define it, you don't know it.
Oh.
So a Wild Soul Sanctuary to me is no one can define it, but everyone who's been here for any length of time knows what it is. So we are divinely magnificent in every way.
Oh.
A sanctuary is the place to come to be who and what we are in peace. Can I have that slide there, Nico?
Oh.
Nico. Oh, thank you. There it is. The reason I bring this up is I keep looking at that middle line. I am holy light. Now, when you think of the word holy, you think of the word H-O-L-Y. But up there in that prayer, it's W-H-O-L-L-Y. I don't know if you've ever known that, Eric, but that was for you. See, the word H-O-L-Y is for somebody who's divine, speaking of the divinity. But then you have that word W-H-O-L-L-Y with reference to completeness. So you hear both of those words together, and they both are the same in your mind, but what you see in that sentence is that you are completely divine light. So we come here for that illumination, to be light, to be whole. And so that's what I think of every time I see that prayer, that it defines who and what we strive to be, beings of light on journeys of self-discovery.
Nice. Woo! I have begged Mr. Gregory to be my runner today, and he's looking at me. I'm like, go get the mic. So, all right, let's begin with our mission statement, shall we? Oh. We stand together to create a global ecosystem of unity, deep wisdom, and loving kindness. Oh, take a breath in. Wisdom and loving kindness. I mean, how could we want anything less? Now, mind you, June is Pride Month. Think about that. Everybody is welcome. Everybody is together. We celebrate however you show up, whoever you are, whatever you need. And here is a place that we will celebrate you. All right, so you guys kind of know who I am, but just in case this is your first time, and if you don't like my style, please keep coming back. We have way better hosts that show up here. I'm Reverend Tam. Jane will be doing our talk today. Boy, am I excited. You've met Soulshine, who is on fire today. Lisa will be doing the meditation, and Claire has agreed to sub in to run the kids program at the very last minute because my kid was supposed to do it, but she's been the head coach for the Masters water polo team for free. Okay, mom has opinions. And she got her head conked in the middle of yesterday's play. And so she's somewhere checking on a concussion right now. Silly rabbit. But anyhow, I'm sure she'll be just fine. Anybody wants to shout out a prayer for her, say, okay, can you stop doing things for free that get you hurt? All right, we'll keep going. All righty then. I would like to talk briefly about this chair. We had a speaker some months ago that shared there is a tradition of having the chair always here at the altar, always in the sanctuary to honor those that have gone before that can't be with us. I think it can also celebrate those that wish they were here in the room and would like to be part of this community, but I really love the idea that somebody who has passed on has joined us in this room today. So bring your thoughts and prayers and energy to that chair for anybody you want in the room with us here today, please. All right, now we're gonna move to celebrations. Yeah, Victor, you're gonna have to wait till we sing birthdays. All right, so.
And that means it's birthday time.
Woo. Raise your hand if you're a June birthday, just out of curiosity. Wow, there's a lot of you. We know Jeff Hiatt was yesterday. We have a bunch of people. Let's go, Eric.
All right. We're going to sing Happy Birthday, Dear Everybody. That way nobody gets left out and nobody's going, what are we going to, dear who? So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you.
There was some discussion of whether or not it was going to be done operatically. Thank you, Eric, for not going there. Victor.
Chuck.
You're live.
Ringo Starr, Peace and Love.
Yes. Yay, that was last night.
Edgar Winter and Luca Thor from Toto, Average White Band, Colin Hay from Men at Work.
Is there anything you haven't listened or played or been a part of lately musically?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Who else has a celebration?
Yay.
I am baffled that this crowd might be quiet. Come on.
Nico, do you have our picture to put up? I am celebrating our weeding crew yesterday. Monica was there too, but she had to leave a little bit early. She came early so she could leave early. But we did some cleanup around. There's still a whole lot of work. If anyone would love, just is driving by and says, you know what, I've got nothing better to do except do some weeding at Unity, we would welcome you to stop by. But yes, that was our small but mighty team yesterday. Thank you all who came and joined us.
Last night there was a wonderful concert at First Presbyterian, put on by Cascade Chorale, and our very own master singer, Eric, did a solo that knocked the socks off of everyone.
Ooh.
So once they get the roof back on, there will be another concert at 3 o'clock at First Presbyterian. It's free and for donations. Yeah, right. That's right. It was just exceptional.
Yay!
So about 6 months ago, I kind of had a health issue come up, and I had to withdraw from the Peru trip. And
Aw.
I put in a prayer request about a couple of months ago, and I just had lab work done, and it was really improved, like amazingly improved. So I really want to put a shout out for prayer requests. And I did my work too, but boy, I said that affirmation every day. So
Nice.
try to check it out, guys.
Eric had one, and then we'll. Oh, Eric's done. All righty. Yes. See what
yes-
happens when we give you a microphone?
Yeah. Yesterday, my sons came over, and all the kids in the neighborhood came to my house, and we had a classic water fight in the backyard that went on to the fort building. And it was just one of those precious days where all the kids were having fun, and the boys came back to visit. And I had many moments during the day where I just, this is right. This is good. Anne Marie. Oh.
I'm celebrating a trip to Ashland with Nolan and Jeff, and we got to see 2 plays, went to the Science Museum, had some good food, came back, did another play at Cascade Theater, so we are full of culture.
Woo! Okay. All right, this is our last one. Thank you.
I'm celebrating a successful, fun, safe trip with the 8th graders at my school to San Francisco and back. And then I'm also celebrating that my daughter Jane's home for the summer, and Jessica will be here in a week and a half. And all is right in my world when my girls are home.
Yay! Is it leaving or, oh, do you have something, Nico?
Yeah, Leah is not here, so I'm going to do a couple of the online celebrations.
Thank you.
Leah is celebrating the beautiful summer weather, and Jim Pasmore is celebrating being in wilderness heaven here in the Eagle Cap.
Ooh. Okay. Wow. Everybody that manages everyone online is so greatly appreciated because we want to pull them in the room. We love having them as a part of our community. I know when I gave my talk some weeks ago, I had a bunch of trainers, fellow trainers from Infinite Possibilities from all over the country. And I've received so much good feedback that they attended that time, and many, many, many have been popping in, even though they're on East Coast time, because we have the live streaming capability. So I just think that's so fabulous that we offer it, that we have it, that we can all be a part of the same community. But since we're celebrating, let's celebrate the earth. An abandoned gas well in Illinois has been converted into a geothermal energy storage system, repurposing a once polluted extraction site into a huge underground battery. Wow, that's incredible. All right, it's time for the kids to head out with Claire. Claire, can you come up and tell us a little something that you have plotted or planned for today?
Yeah, I have some good plans today. Nolan and Florence, if she wants to come. But I was thinking today, since it was kind of a last minute, I had to come up with something to do today, right? So I was thinking we would start with math, and then could do a list of chores that we can all do when we get home, and then we can learn how to play blackjack. Yeah?
Woo! Can
All
you
right, so I need
can you
Kato's
bring
one.
them to my house for the chores when you're done? All right, let's go ahead and bless all of our fabulous kiddos as they head out with Claire. Yay! Okay, are you good at math? This is awesome. Okay, she's got dice already under control. I think there's some other games involved. Nolan, from that list, what are you most excited about? Probably none of it. Blackjack. Okay. All right. Anne Marie will be asking for a group to Las Vegas after Claire's done with them today. All right. Do we have our blessing? We need to. All right. We appreciate the holy gift that you are. We see the Christ light shining from you. May you always know what a treasure you are. May you always bring your gifts freely and fully to the world. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Have fun. All right. I'm taking odds that Nolan will be the best blackjack player we have ever seen in our lives. Okay. Let's talk about things to celebrate and comings. All right, our first one is, all right, we have fun kiddos. We know they're going to. All right, healing sound tonight. How many of you have participated in our healing sound? Oh my God, you guys, life-changing. And I want to tell you that it's a small offering, but what you receive back is exponentially amazing. It's tonight here at 6:30 with our darling Lisa, Donna, and Elliot right here in the room. Let's do this. All right. We have a bunch of weekly things happening. Men's group is tomorrow here at 6 p.m. The women's group is every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And then Soul Shine, particularly Dave, has been hosting singing practice every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Man, this place is hopping. Oh, Sarah, I am so excited for this. I think you're still doing it with Kalinda. Yes? No, just Sarah. All right. So Thursday at 6:30, we're going to have a meditation and heart share. It's a brand new group. This is your opportunity to get involved. If you haven't done something like this before, what you receive is so much bigger than what you might ever give. And just showing up brings that energy right into the group. Sarah, thank you for hosting. We appreciate that. All right. We have a bunch of SEE Week classes coming, and I'm going to ask Jane to talk a little bit more about all of them. So, an SEE class is spiritual education and enrichment. Is my mic on? Nope. Can you grab the mic?
Okay, it stands for Spiritual Education and Enrichment, and we have classes that we offer periodically. Like, for example, this summer, we're going to be doing one on healing and wholeness that's every week. But these classes are an intensive week. So if you have a day job, you're probably out of luck unless you sign up for the evening one. But if you don't have a day job or your time is flexible, you can take the whole class in 1 week. So it's 2 hours a day, and the same is true for each of the classes. You can find them online. There are several Bible classes here: the overview of Christian scriptures, Bible interpretations of the Christian scriptures, and the Christ, which is really not about Jesus as much as it is about the energy, the Christ energy that is a template for who we can be. The way that Unity teaches the Bible is very, very different from if you came from a Christian background and you ever did Bible study. It tends to be very literal, and Unity is not like that. Unity is looking at it from what was going on in the culture and the history at the time that this was written. With Christian scriptures, you're going to learn about the audiences that the different gospel writers had and what the point was that they were trying to make. They are not biographies of Jesus, actually. They are not literally necessarily true. The information that we have about Jesus, we didn't get from the gospel, we got it from the letters of Paul. There's a lot of things that you'll learn, and it's pretty fascinating. The history of New Thought, you might think because of the name New Thought that it's kind of recent, but it actually predates Jesus's time, and you'll learn all about that. Unity prayer, you're kind of familiar with if you've been coming here more than today. And so you're going to learn more about how do you actually do that yourself and get a prayer partner in the process. So I hope that if you have the time available, you will sign up for one or more of these classes. And if there is a part of you that has harbored this secret idea that maybe you would like to be a licensed Unity teacher or a minister someday, and you haven't really told anybody, it's a secret, you have to take classes like this in order to do that. So you could dip your toes in the water.
I have not attended an SAE week. I have attended other classes, and I have to tell you, the things that I learn every single time I engage makes me occasionally smarter, and I'm going to explain why. Mike Dooley is the owner of Infinite Possibilities, which I mention all the time now since I'm a newly converted trainer for them. And he does a weekly talk for just us. And he was busy explaining that Louise Hayes, the most perhaps refined, amazing, you can heal your life authors and speakers, was a Unity minister. And I went, wait, what? So I went immediately researching and stopped paying attention to anything he was talking about. And she wasn't, but she was a New Thought ordained minister. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, now I know why you grouped it all together, because New Thought is so powerful to learn and understand and to grow your own personal practices from. So I didn't catch him out on the live broadcast, but I did text him. And then he apologized the following week for getting it wrong. So I love catching more brilliant people than me to do things better. All right, Lighthouse Laundry. I don't know if we got a delivery today. We didn't, yes, last week, but I'm just gonna go for it and assume 5 people. Can I get a raise of hands as I explain what we're doing here? This is a local nonprofit that serves people in need. Many are disabled, and they don't have laundry machines. So they were literally throwing out their clothes. And so we are in partnership with them that some bags of clothes come every Sunday, and then we get to wash them, being of service to others, and we deliver them back on Tuesdays to the Lighthouse. I'm not going to give you the address. I'm just going to say, feel free to Google it, because you'll get it right when my dyslexia gets it all wrong, and I've screwed you up anyhow. So can I have 5 raises of hands here to do laundry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just pick it up on your way out, and then Tuesday, if you'll deliver it back on site at the Lighthouse. Greatly appreciated that. All right. We have something fun coming up, the newcomer potluck dinner. It is so much fun to do this. You meet other people, it's an open conversation. I don't know if Jane or Jeff are gonna cook, but I know that I've eaten there. I hate salmon. Jeff made it. It was amazing. You definitely wanna go. All righty, so you can just RSVP on the website to join Jane and Jeff at their place on June 8th. Spirit groups, woohoo! New spirit groups are starting. Parent effectiveness training will be hosted by Leah in person, and that is Tuesday, June 27th at 6:30 p.m. Oh, can we talk about the kids program for this summer? This is for our kids ages 7 to 11. It's July 1 through 4th in Veronia. Thank you. It's like the O word that we can't let me discuss. All right. And it's early bird pricing is $345. This is such an amazing program. It's a 4-day, 3-night communion with Spirit. We have teenage counselors that volunteer their time and pay their own registration to attend. This event was created, planned, facilitated, and supervised by youers. Okay, that's hard to say. YOUers. Oh, thank you. They're Youth of Youth. Thank you, Sarah. I love that. Okay, yeah, the dyslexia is really kicking my butt, but it's so easy to remember when we do that way. All right, and these are kids ages 15 to 18 from regional ministries. Now imagine, if you will, having a spiritual program where a bunch of cool teenagers are going to be there to let you have fun and run camp and learn more. I mean, come on, our littles don't talk to us the way they're going to talk to a cool teen. This may be a friend that they make for the rest of their lives, supporting them as they grow and learn. It's such an incredibly great program. I believe, Kev, you have a video.
About spending a week away from my dad, I was really nervous. And when I met my first counselor, she just immediately gave me this big hug and said, we're making name tags. And she was so excited. And so then I got really excited. And she was like, what's your favorite color? And I'm like, my favorite color is green. And she goes, I'm going to get you all the green markers I can. And I was just like, okay. Like immediately, I just felt so happy to be there.
Kids Camp is not only a spiritually educational environment, it is also a chance for your kid to allow their true light to shine and make connections with kids not unlike themselves.
I was a very energetic kid, and I think in most traditional areas in society, that's not something that's encouraged or celebrated, and I think it really was celebrated at Kids Camp.
Some of the most important components to that was having counselors and staff who were genuinely interested in supporting the love and the joy that children have, where it wasn't an attempt to structure camp and have these small humans fall into line and do all the right things. It was about creating a place of joy for all of the kids to be, where they didn't have to try to fit somebody else's ideal of what childhood looks like. They were allowed to be themselves.
So one of the themes from Kids Camp was be a noodle, dance or doodle, and I think that's still such a funny thing, and it's been going on in my mind. And the point of that camp was really to be yourself and trust that your inner light was there to guide you, and also that it's okay to be silly and be a noodle, and to continue to nurture that inner light is important, especially in childhood, and it has continued to impact me today.
You can just kind of be whoever you want to be at Kids Camp and feel loved and accepted fully. And so I think that's where the joy really came from for me as a child, was this place where I could go and not think that people would judge me or see me as something that I didn't want them to see me as.
It is an opportunity to learn to make connections in just an unashamed way, to be your true authentic self.
Yeah, the seeds that were planted that far back were probably like the ability to have close friendships.
The lessons that they will learn have an opportunity to just carry them through the rest of their life in such a cool way.
Kids Camp is something that kids benefit so much from. But I really do think that the fact that my parents were willing to let me go off and experience this camp taught me so many more lessons than I think they even realized I would learn.
That genuine care for the universal perspective of a child, and to allow that to flourish, that's what's really important, I think, as a foundation for the camp.
So Kids Camp really for me was a place where I could be myself and learn that that was enough and that was important in life, and that you can go a lot of places if you just are yourself.
That's the main message, actually, is that you get a sense of peace and wholeness that sticks with you for the rest of your life.
There are a few places left where kids are really allowed to be their full selves, and it's just such a wonderful place for kids to be a kid.
Camp when you were a kid? Raise your hand. Look at this room. Okay, online, put your hands up. Let's make sure you're in on this. All right, look at this room. Camp is such an amazing experience. It's their first opportunity to do a little bit of individuation. meet new people, explore imagination and possibilities. Now, picture, if you will, one that has spiritual precepts behind it, where we tell you how magnificent you are and how we see your light and how it shines. Why wouldn't we want this kind of opportunity? So I strongly encourage you to pass the word on, sign up your kids, and I'm imagining that some of our older kids also are considering being counselors, which is a wonderful experience too. All righty. Can you tell I really love summer camps? All right, so today's service, it's kind of simple how we're going to do things. Okay, we're going to do meditation with the most amazing Miss Lisa. I'm going to do prayer because they just can't get rid of me. And then, of course, Jane will be coming up and giving our talk. But let's talk about prayer for a moment. Thank you for sharing in your celebration, your response for having prayer. Now, you asked for it, you received it. I loved the fact that you said, I did my own work. Prayer is such an amazing opportunity to give and to receive. And our prayer leaders love, our prayer team loves backing you. But more importantly, we're not beseeching to anybody, we're claiming. We have so many things you can do. There is the good old-fashioned green form that you may submit it. I started, and then I had so many new, I started ripping them up. So, use plenty more new ones. You can, which is what I usually do, just scan it in and text your submissions for prayer. But more importantly, we also, when we're done praying with you and for you and around you, having claimed what can be, what will be so, we then submit it to our silent unity, so we get 30 days, 24/7, doubling down on that which you have claimed. That is going to be so amazing. And I'm just going to make a personal comment about prayer. There are some of you in the room that have allowed me the gift of praying with you. And whether it was you came up front and asked me to do so, or I received your request, the responses we, the prayer team, get is probably even more amazing than your idea, maybe I should ask for something. There are people here that have come to me or texted me back and said, I had a family member who never shares their truth come back and tell me they love me. I've had people tell me that they've planned ceremonies and rituals to honor those that have gone on, that never imagined that their magnificent would put on the most beautiful celebration of life. I have other people that have been in very dark places, and they have shared that whatever we claimed for them gave them a light, a tunnel by which to find themselves again. And that's how powerful prayer is. So I invite all of you to participate in our prayer requests. We love being there for you. We love doing it with you. And then we'll talk a little bit more about having people here at the end of the service that will pray online. Speaking of praying online, I believe Allie Crane is online with all of you, and she is a part of our prayer team, and she would gladly accept any requests for our online team to pray along with you. All righty then. Miss Lisa, can I ask you to take it away?
Are we on? Yes. Let's take a little inner journey. So if you'd please sit upright in a comfortable position. Softly close your eyes. And begin to become aware of your breath. the gentle sensation of your breath entering in through your nose, flowing down the back of your throat into your lungs, just the softness of it. And becoming aware of the sensation of your rib cage gently expanding as you inhale and gently settling back into place as you exhale. And as we are becoming more aware of ourselves as frequency, as energy beings, to settle your awareness into the center of your heart chakra, and begin to visualize your heart chakra shining like the sun. And breathe in light through the center of your heart. And as you exhale, softly allow that light to expand. What is light? The visible spectrum of energy that we can see. To visualize light or to summon an emotion is to move energy through our bodies. So let us settle into visualizing light and love, which always resides in our hearts and is our true essence. Just settle into your heart for a few minutes, a few moments, with your breath. And settling into gratitude for the opportunity we have today to be together, the time we have, the time that you took today out of your life to be here. To affirm the true essence of all of us, of all of life, is love. And remember, I am holy light. We are holy light, and we are stronger together. We are in unity, in love, together. Staying with your breath in your heart. Just allowing the harmonics of the crystal bowls to settle into your energy field. Nothing to figure out right now. Just settling in. And from this calm, loving, centered place that's always available to us inside, our dear Reverend Tam is going to take us through some prayers.
Well done, Lisa. Oh, stay in the space that you're in right here, right now, with the sound of the bell, of the bowls still ringing. Wow. Okay. And please put your hand on your heart for a moment and feel your heart beating. Boom, 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 boom. Each heartbeat, I want you to breathe in trust. Boom. And now hard, breathe out fear. Breathe in trust. Breathe out fear. And in this moment, we know that you are completely present. You are here in the now. And we bring in the divine spirit of love, light, magic, imagination, and possibilities. And we feel with every beat of our heart that energy flowing through us, cleansing every cell, every nerve, every muscle, and just flowing through this as we affirm each of us have everything we need for magic to occur. In our state of prayer, we claim that we know our benevolent souls are so worthy, so amazing, so capable of love and light. And we release all that no longer serves us, sending it into the earth, deep down into the core where it burns away because it is no longer necessary. And we bring up through that fire, up through our toes, our legs, our belly, right back into that heart. And in this moment, we claim that we know all is perfect as it is, and so it is.
Please join us in the prayer song. Breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let go and know I breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let go and know
Love is our ultimate reality, everywhere present and whole. It radiates abundantly and continually creates good in my life and in the world. As we gratefully acknowledge the presence and power of love now, We see the people and circumstances we hold in prayer, healed and illumined by love. And so it is.
Got a reason to smile, a reason to sing. Just walking outside is such a wonderful thing. The sun, it rises pretty much every day. So bring out your blues and we'll dance them away. This love I'm feeling, I just gotta share with you. Open our hearts together, it's what we're born to do. So remember that you're beautiful and may all your dreams come true. What do you feel when you put your hand in mine? Does it make your heart soar, make you want to shine? 'Cause I am who I am and you are who you are. We're just visitors here, you know we've traveled so far. This love I'm feeling, I just gotta share with you. Open our hearts together, it's what we're born to do. So remember that you're beautiful and may all your dreams come true. We could have landed anytime, anywhere. One day a wondrous life came into being, and that day will last for all of your years. It's in the letting go of time our souls find freeing, and we start seeing all the beauty around us in the earth and the trees, in the rivers and oceans and the birds and the bees. 'Cause we're part of everything, all that can be. We're all one world, us and them, you and me. This love I'm feeling, I just gotta share with you. Open our hearts together, it's what we're born to do. So remember that you're beautiful and may all your dreams come true. This love I'm feeling, I just gotta share with you. Open our hearts together, it's what we're born to do. So remember that you're beautiful and may all your dreams come true. May all your dreams come true. May all your dreams come true.
How about another round of applause for that? Isn't that incredible? Thank you, Victor. Thank you. Well, it's that time where I get to introduce our main speaker. And I was trying to think of something that we haven't all said before about Jane. And I got to thinking about it, when I was in my ministry school, later on, even as a kid, I didn't know a great many of fun people that had a spiritual basis that wanted to talk to me. And how many of you have had knock your socks off fun with Jane here in the room? Come on. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is one of the reasons, well, I have a long list of reasons why I love you so. But I think it's one of the most marvelous things, because sometimes spirituality and going to church or being in a sanctuary or being online and listening feels like the person giving the message isn't living the story and isn't part of our lives. And for me, Jane is very much part of our lives, celebrating her life and doing it so authentically. So there is nothing that delights me more than asking for my friend, our senior minister, Reverend Jane, to join me here upstage. It's hard with all the microphones on.
I know. So I call this talk quantum hope. And hope is an interesting word. So think about the last time you said, well, I hope, and fill in the blank. And did you really expect that whatever you filled in the blank for, like, I hope I get that job, or I hope I have enough money to pay this bill, or I hope I meet that person that, is my one and only. Did you really expect that would happen? Or did you really mean, oh, I wish it would, but I know it won't? I think when we say, I hope this happens, we're saying, oh, we need a Hail Mary here. This is such a long shot, right? And I think that maybe that's because when we talk about hope, we think about it from more of the Newtonian world, that classical. So in Newtonian physics, there's cause and effect. Like if I come over and I push you, you're going to move back, right? So we can see the cause, we can see the effect. When we think about the things that we hope for, we're looking at the material world, at the evidence in front of us, and we don't see enough evidence that this could happen, whatever this is for us. And so we really believe that it can't happen, and we throw out the I hope while we believe it won't happen. And unsurprisingly, it usually doesn't. Because we actually know, especially here in Unity, that our thoughts create our reality. And those thoughts can be most often are our subconscious thoughts. So when I talk about quantum hope, I'm looking at it not from a Newtonian perspective, but from the quantum world. So I don't know how many of you, when I talk about quantum, have a pretty good idea of what quantum refers to. Okay, so maybe a half of you do, and the rest of you are like, what the hell is she talking about? And I have to say, so I've told you before that I was reading this book, You Matter More Than You Think. And so last night I finished the whole thing, and lots of highlights in it. And part of the time I was thinking, I have no idea what they're talking about. And part of the time I was thinking, oh yeah, this is really good stuff. So it can be it can be a little bit heady and hard to understand, but there are a few things about the quantum world. So I think one of the most basic is that reality is a wave of possibilities. And as we focus on some point in that wave, the wave collapses into that point. So that means anything could happen, right? Here's my health. All these possibilities. And I focus on, oh, I'm going to have high blood pressure, say, because it runs in my family. And I keep focusing, I hope I don't have high blood pressure. And boom, that collapses the wave. And now I have high blood pressure. Okay? And you can take that with anything. This is possibilities, and they're infinite. And this, boom, is what I'm focusing on. And that's what happens. Okay, so when we talk about the quantum world where anything is possible, and then we think about our reality that we're experiencing. So for example, in this book, they're focused on climate change. And they're talking about how we hear all these predictions for how our world is really in bad, bad shape. We hear that all the time, right? Some people don't want to have kids. I mean, you could make a case for there are too many people on the planet, so maybe that's a good idea, but really, so many people don't want to have kids because look at this world that we're bringing them into, and the world is going to end maybe in their lifetimes, or, there are thoughts that are out there. We are very concerned about what's happening with the planet heating up. However, if we want to have hope for our planet, we should take consideration into where is the evidence that this is happening. Now, I'm not denying that there is a problem. We definitely have some problems with what's going on with the earth, but when they measure what is going on with the earth, they are measuring things like, okay, how much have the ice caps melted? And so let me give you a different example. If you're doing probability with rolling a dice, for those over there doing blackjack, they measure the roll of the dice, like what are the numbers that are possible, and they measure the roll. What they don't measure is the one who is doing the rolling. Okay, so when we think about all the measurements and all the statistics that we get about what is happening with our planet, we, the agents, are not being measured. Only what is happening, the process. It doesn't take us into consideration. And we, as it turns out, have a very big role. Consciousness has a big role. So another aspect of the quantum world is something called entanglement. Maybe you've heard about experiments where they take cellular material and they separate it. And one is in Chicago and one is in Portland. And they do something to the one in Portland, and the one in Chicago has an experience that looks like a reaction to the same thing, even though they're not connected, but they were at one time. They've done lots of experiments with twins who were separated at birth for some reason and end up having similar experiences all through life because we're entangled with one another. You've had experiences where you think about somebody and then that person calls or you run into them, because we're entangled with them. And that's a quantum idea. We tend to think about nature as, well, there's nature out there. Let's go out and be in nature. we tend not to think about I am nature and I am entangled with all of it. And so the qualities that we see in nature, like the strength of the tree, or when we did the Council of All Beings, and everyone got some aspect of nature to identify with, all of those qualities we have them too, because we are entangled with them. And so we're playing too small. When we have hope that is more of the Newtonian kind of hope, and it's based on the evidence we can see, we're not looking at everything we are entangled with. Chris, I love that you talked about holy spelled with the W. I've been doing that intentionally for a very long time. My word for God is the holy good. And we are entangled with the holy good. I am the holy good. I can't separate myself from it. So when we think about what is possible in our world, we have so much that we can draw upon, and we have agency, and we have to think about our power to create. One of the things that I loved that was in this book was talking about how what it is that we put out. It is the practice of sowing the seeds of a thriving future for all by allowing ourselves to embody that future in our thoughts, relationships, and actions. When we embrace our complementary identities as both individuals and collective. So it's not just I am I, but I am we. And not just we, the people in this room, but we, nature. We, the holy good. When we embrace our complementary identities as both individuals and collectives, we can generate fractal patterns that ripple, resonate, and replicate at all scales. So when we think of ourselves as agents, we're talking about not only what we do, though what we do is important, but it's also what we are thinking and what we are being. So if we want a world where everyone thrives, if we want a world where there is kindness, then we look at who are we being. And we don't doubt that that kind of being is having an impact. Maybe we have to take actions. We can't just think about it in our heads, but the actions flow from an interbeing space. Like you wouldn't sit down, well, if you're 11, you might, and you have a whole package of M&Ms and you don't want to have to share it, you might eat the whole thing and not offer it to the person beside you. But even when you're 11, sometimes you think better of it and you offer some M&Ms. So it's like we grow into knowing as we grow that we can't just be for ourselves, because we are collective and every one of us matters. When we talk about unity principles, our number one principle is we're all one. The holy good is what we are. There is not a hierarchy of a God up somewhere and we down here. It's all one. Even the creation stories that come from a culture that was very different than ours, with a scientific understanding that was very different, very, very different. It was a pre-scientific understanding. But even in that story, everything that's created, God says it's good, because it comes from the mind of the cosmos, the creation, the holy good. What else could it be? It's all one. So when we think about what is out there, what could happen, if we think about it from the place of it's an extension of us, everything that is in process is us becoming, because we are all there is, then we realize that as we do things that come from a place of integrity and goodness, that has a ripple effect on the all, because we're connected to it. Is this making sense? I feel like in some ways that I'm talking in circles, and I found myself thinking, oh, this is so complicated. I hope I can make sense of it. And then I said, wait a minute, that's the opposite of what you're trying to express here. It's, in some ways, it's just simpler than we can imagine. Just be a good person, be kind. And the ripples are amazing. I read a story yesterday about a woman who got on took an Uber to go to Atlanta airport, and she's in the airport in line to get on her flight. She left her car keys and house keys in the Uber. The Uber driver found them, parked the car, came into the Atlanta airport. This is not like Redmond's airport. It's one of the biggest. He came and found her in the airport and returned her keys, because they're entangled, and kindness has fractal power. So the things that we do, when we think about the earth as we are the body of the earth, if there's too much, there's excess, we look at our own lives and we say, where have I got excess? Where can I let go? If there's not enough, we ask ourselves, where am I not playing largely enough? Where can I do more? And we do it. And we let go of this idea of, oh, I don't know, I think I should do this. I hope I can do this, but I know I can't. We just let that thinking go. When we think about, like that wonderful video of the kids' camp, I know there aren't too many people here that brought their kids today. I don't know if you have kids, but there usually are more people here with kids. But they can't necessarily afford the kids' camp. And that's just one of the camps. They have camps for middle schoolers. They have camps for teenagers. And, you know, that being a parent is an expensive job. I was listening to a comedian yesterday talk about parentally challenged, and he was saying, "Oh, it's not much of a return on your investment. You know, you're paying out all this money every year, and then at some point you die, and they get all the rest of it." And it's just, it was pretty funny. But anyway, all I'm saying is, being a parent is expensive, and so for those of you whose kids are not, you know, they're grown, or you don't have kids to begin with, maybe you want to think about giving some extra money specifically for kids camp so that more of our kids could go. Just a thought. Maybe you want to think about doing things that have an impact, just working in this small community. You know, like getting out and pulling weeds or washing laundry for people that don't have washing machines. I mean, that could even, did you get your washing machines fixed yet? And she was saying that the first day that we did that, it's like, my washing machine isn't working. Maybe I could bring my laundry in. But anyway, you know, those are little things that we can do. Think about how can you get involved in acts of kindness and giving of yourself, because then it makes a ripple effect in this world. And the predictions that seem so dire maybe don't come about because you have exercised agency. There's one more quote from this book that I love so much. Quantum social change is about activating a quality of agency by responding from a space of integrity and oneness in every moment. The potential for quantum social change lies not in technologies, but in people. And it is expressed through love for ourselves, each other, nature, the planet, and future generations. From the perspective of quantum social change, we are the most powerful solutions to climate change. Quantum social change is not just about choosing a different paradigm. It is about being a different paradigm. This takes courage in a world where we are socialized to conform and habituated to believe in the paradigm that we are separate. We are not separate. We are one. We are one. And when we know that, and when we act from that knowing, we create the world that we want. And hope is a real power. Namaste.
Just take that in. I'm a business coach, and it doesn't matter who I'm working with or what we're doing. The question comes up all the time. How do I get through the difficult stuff? Imagine being a CEO and finding out you have to lay off, 8,000 people. That is one of my clients. And based on Jane's talk, I didn't realize I was infusing some good stuff in there. And the question always has to be, what's one thing you're grateful for? What's one thing you'd like a do-over on? And what's a random act of kindness you can do for another? And this CEO figured out a way to do a company-wide service project to allow everyone to connect with their community and have greater support mechanisms as the word arrived that they would no longer be employed. So I think we can see it really, really matters doing these random acts of kindness and connecting with our community and giving back. New guest. Oh, sorry, you're way better than me. Go.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby.
Over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true.
Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly
And I don't know if you guys can see, we have a little Wizard of Oz plate here with the red heart, and then our beautiful Miss Donna did click her heels at the end of the song. She's got her ruby slippers on. She's not as klutzy as me. Don't
call my friend klutzy.
We're not going to go there. All right. Do we have any new members here today? Or new people to our sanctuary? Yay! Welcome, welcome, welcome. There is a fabulous little blue card right on the back of the chairs, and we would love to have you fill that out and put it in the offering basket that'll come around. It is not a stalker memo. It is simply our way of connecting with you, welcoming you, and then you get our weekly newsletter and all the information that comes to those that are here in the sanctuary and also online. Nico, did we have anybody new online? Just checking in. Okay. Chris, you're pointing somewhere. Yes? Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. I have no idea what's going on. All right, we will keep going. Right now, we are going to go ahead and do our offering, all right? And I want to mention a couple things about the offerings. You can text it to us. You can put something in the basket. You can Venmo, email. Oh man, we have so many possibilities. But let's go back to what Jane said. Imagine, if you would, that we have the money to sponsor kids that wouldn't be able to go to camp unless from our generosity and knowing what they would receive, we put into the coffers so we can give back to the community and to help others. So as we go ahead and bring up our greeters, I want you to imagine where your money can and does go. How exciting this is that we can help others with our giving. Oh my goodness, you guys are so amazing. You want to gather out there and see who wants to put more things in your baskets?
Sing the gratitude song. I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul.
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all.
I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you.
Muchas
gracias.
I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all. Thank you for it all.
From the love of pure spirit within us, we bless these gifts. We send them forth to heal, bless, and prosper. They are evidence of our faith and belief. They do good work in the world and return to us multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Thank you. We're at the point of our time together where I think I should bring up the prayer team. If you're not already on stage, which two of us are, Kevin, you want to come up? Anybody else want to come up? You can't come up. All right. Bottom line is, if you'd like a prayer when we're done, there's a couple of us up here, here. Allie Crane is online. Also for our online team, I'm going to encourage you to stay in the community itself and socialize and get to know a couple other people. And let's leave our day with our intention for the week, the prayer of intention. Holy light shines within and all around me, a presence of love that is always there. I am that presence. I am a radiant field of love energy. I am holy light. My essence cradles and guides me. I am a gift in this world. I go forth from here in joy to bless the world with my loving light.
All right. Let's kick off the week. I
got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. Muchas gracias. Have a great week. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all.
Morning, everyone. Are we able to unmute? I don't know if they've made me the host yet.
So you think you know.
I think that
From the unknown, but where did they arise?
no.
How did you become so wise to hear your voice inside? The one that's been there through all time, guiding you.
And here we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hi.
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you too. Here we are. I know Jim has to check out of his motel room. He's in Joseph, Oregon, and I have to jump off in about, oh gosh, 10 minutes now because we have a board meeting. But I'm happy to leave the chat room open if people want to stick around and chat with each other. I'm happy to leave you guys here. I'm going to turn off the recording.